So tonight we're going to talk about two basic subjects. What we're going to talk about is where do we find people and what is keeping me from achieving my potential. So in where do I find people to talk to, what we want to make sure that we are getting across to our individuals is that you find people anywhere and everywhere you go. The first thing that I think everyone should do is make a list. Now, we've heard Joan say this, we've heard Darlene say this, we've heard just about every leader in the field say this at one time or another, Sam Skaggs, Steve Young, Pete Abraham. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on of individuals that have been highly engaged and highly involved with this product, and every single one of them tells you to make a list. That should be your first stop, is make a list of the people that you're going to contact. And where I think many of us go wrong is we decide who should go on that list and who should not. And I want to challenge or urge everyone, please stop making the decision of who should hear the message and who shouldn't. When you think about what our message is, which is getting out of debt and taking control of your financial future, this is a message that everyone you know should hear. That doesn't mean that you bend their arm or try to convince them that this is the product for them, or, you know what, I've done everything in multi-level I could ever do and now I'm doing this and this is the best thing ever. No, this is a matter of presenting the information to everyone you know. And now with a short 10-minute video, it makes it very simple. So please go back to your telephones, go back to your list, go back to your warm market, go back to people you ran analysis for that never purchased, people that you set appointments that never showed up. Make that list again and start getting in touch with people and sending this video out to them. This should be every single person you know without equivocation, unless they have told you, I don't want to hear from you anymore. This would involve your neighbors. And I think many of us many times are afraid to involve our neighbors in our business because it's like, well, what if something goes wrong? Well, here's the reality. If you expose the client to the product, you run their analysis and explain what the analysis is telling them they need to do. And you also explain that it is a program that they're going to have to stay up on, that they're going to have to work. This goes back to the qualifying questions you ask and the litmus test, especially on a scale of 1 to 5, how serious are you about getting out of debt? If they tell you they're a 4 or a 5, let individuals make the decision themselves. Just show them the information, the video, run their analysis, show them their numbers, and then don't try to convince them this is the thing for them. Just walk them through the process, and you'll be surprised how many people actually will decide to move forward. Where are the places that you frequent? And I want you to really think about this. Is there a certain gas station you go to and the people behind the counter? Now, I know that may sound odd, but I know the gas station I go to is a Holiday. 3 of the men behind the counter own their own homes. You know, they're purchasing homes. And 2 of them are young ladies that are living in homes that they're purchasing as well. I've actually brought this message to them, and actually out of those 5, I got 1 sale. That was at my own Holiday gas station. That's a true story. What bank do you go to? Have you ever approached the loan officer? Have you ever approached the teller? Have you ever approached the bank manager? Where do you go to get your hair cut? Whether you go and have your hair styled or you go to a barber. Are there certain restaurants that you frequent very regularly? It's like your go-to place. I know with my family, it's a Mexican restaurant that we've been going to for almost 18 years. I know just about everybody in that restaurant, including the owner, who, by the way, the owner is a user of the product by my hand. Do you have kids on sports teams? Are you involved with the local high school in any aspect? Do you have kids in college? What are the areas that you go to? Where do you frequent? Where do you have your contacts? Have you joined any type of B&I meetings? Have you been going to local business group meetings or networking meetings? These are all great ways to find people to expose to this product. Who does your taxes? Now, this is the one I don't understand. Every single person that is on this call probably has their taxes done by someone or does taxes themselves. What a beautiful lateral market for you to expose this product to the person that does your taxes and tell them, you know what, hey, I've come across this program and this situation. I truly believe in it. It's been doing great things for consumers. It's helped our clients pay down over $1 billion of principal, bank over $88 million in cash savings. I'd like to get your eyes on this because you're my tax guy and get your opinion. You never know. That is called passive recruiting. You may have a tax person. As a matter of fact, one of our up-and-coming agents that has produced every single month since they joined is a young lady out of Las Vegas who is a tax preparer. That is what she does for a living, and she shows this product to just about everybody she does taxes for. So who does your taxes? Another one would be, where do you bank? So I'm giving you these just as memory joggers for you to kind of wrap your mind around the fact that there are so many people out there for you to talk to, but it does take two things. For many of you, it's going to take getting out of your comfort zone. The second thing that it's going to take is just picking up the phone and going places and talking to people. In other words, putting action behind your name list. I know that phone sometimes feels like it weighs 1,000 pounds. I know many times we just don't feel like making the calls. But as we've said time and time again, a little bit of effort every single day on your business. Designate 1 hour to your business every day, and you will watch your business grow. Don't be so concerned right now with your results from your activity. It's called building a pipeline. It's called priming the pump. It will take you many phone calls. It'll take you many reach outs and contacts, and above all of that, follow up with everybody you have. So many people send out one video, make one phone call, that's it. They consider that client dead. The average client does not respond until they've had 8 to 12 follow-up phone calls and emails to really make a decision. People want to know that you're serious about what you do. At the end of the day, where do you find people to talk to? I'm a big believer in the 3-foot rule, but people have been around me and know I have no trouble starting conversations, so I'm going to put it this way. With anyone who will listen. Anyone that you believe needs this message, just mention that you're in debt elimination. Just mention you're helping people take control of their financial futures. Just mention you help people pay off 30-year mortgages in about 1/3 of the time. Tell people that you teach people how to manage their debt and get out of debt in record time. You tell people that you teach people how to leverage the bank's money. You teach people how not to play the bank's game and pay all that interest and put money back in your pocket. Many times a conversation starts off very slow and it doesn't have anything to do with business. The reality is your first conversation with somebody may not have anything to do with business. It may just be, this was a great conversation. Do you mind if I follow up with you? What do you do for business? Finding out more about them. Remember your qualifiers, your tie downs. The best road to a sale is asking good questions. So let's ask the second question. What is keeping me from achieving my potential? Well, in my mind, the number one derailer of most people in network marketing, direct sales, things of this nature is your inner monologue. What are you telling yourself every day? Are you telling yourself that this business is too difficult for you? If you're telling yourself that, it probably is, because you're telling yourself that. This is not a difficult business in context. It's all about making connections with people, sharing information, and then moving them through a process of questions to see if they are truly concerned about their current indebted situation or maybe their future. Maybe they're concerned they won't have the money to put their kids through college. Maybe they're concerned they won't have that money saved up to go on vacation next year. What is the story that you are telling yourself about this product? And I can tell you this, if it's not, this is the best product for debt that I've ever seen. If it is not, I can do this. If it is not, I am going to devote an hour a day or 30 minutes a day at least to my business every single day. If it is not, I want a passive income, I want a secondary business, I want an additional stream of income. If that is not the inner monologue that you are telling yourself, you are defeating yourself. Every single one of us that's been in this business, every single one of us from me that did the test market all the way to the brand new agent that comes in has had a moment in time with this business where we look around and we go, what are we doing? Why am I still doing this? The reality is what you tell yourself programs your mind to what you focus on. If you're telling yourself that your life is hard, your life is going to be hard. I have met people that are in some of the worst conditions I've ever seen physically, like with health issues, and they're some of the happiest people I've ever met because that inner dialogue, they are telling themselves that everything's going to be okay, I'm going to make it through this, I have a lot to be thankful for. This should be your inner monologue. John came in and asked me the question, sure it'd be nice to have this new video on a DVD. John, hate to tell you this, but DVDs are a thing of the past. Nobody uses them anymore. That's why we did not go with DVD. Having the link available to be able to play it, that's how most people are doing business. There are actual sites where you can burn a DVD from a video recording if you decide to go that way, but I did want to answer that question. Another thing that keeps people from achieving their potential is ambiguous goals and dreams. In other words, you don't really have a defined goal and you don't really have a plan of action for achieving that defined goal. And it was said once before that a goal without a plan of action is nothing more than a dream. You have to come up with a plan of action. You have to not only have that plan of action of how are you going to keep yourself motivated, how are you going to work your business every day, how are you going to invest a little bit every day so that becomes an accumulative process like a layer cake that eventually starts giving you results. It's most important that you have a plan to carry that out. It's all fine and good that you put your plan down on a piece of paper, but if you do not have a plan to follow through and carry it out, then it is nothing more than a dream that you have for your future. I've heard a lot of agents, and I get this all the time, I don't think I know enough to be able to sell this product. Well, that's why we set up the product the way we did, with the tools that you have in the back office, with the number of video presentations that you have available, with the idea that you can use field closers or corporate closers to close your deals. You don't have to know everything. You have to know enough to be able to get through your first 6 lessons of sales track, which at the very end of this, I'm going to review those for you real quickly, which is basically your introduction, your branding, your first impression with a client, asking some good qualifying questions, making your presentation relevant for the client, and trying to set up that first initial appointment. That doesn't take having to know everything about the product. In fact, I have found a lot of people, the more they learn about the product, their recruiting and sales actually start to go down for a period because they start talking too much. They start telling the client and the prospect too much about the product, and it comes across as confusing. Don't get me wrong. If you can speak a really good talk track from beginning to end that's not confusing, please tell your clients. But even to this day, as long as I've done it, without a PowerPoint in front of me, I have a difficult time staying on a talk track of what this product does. That's why I love this new short video giving out the basic concepts. You don't have to know everything about the product. You just have to know enough to know how to pick up the telephone, write out a name list, set up people to call, send them a video, do the follow-up on the video. If they have questions for you that you cannot answer, go to your upline. If your upline cannot answer it, you can feel free to reach out to me directly, and I will give you the best answer that I have. Get it out of your mind that you don't think you know enough. I have seen people come into this business that know virtually zero about the product and make a stellar performance in their first couple months. And I've seen people come in that think they know everything about the product, spend all of their time in the library learning about it, and then when they go out and try to make sales, they're worn out from learning. They don't make the sales right out of the gate, and they walk away. Get moving on getting in touch with people and sending out the video and making contact. Do not forget also the power of the three-way call. The three-way call basically means you're putting an expert on the phone with them. Do not be embarrassed. Do not be embarrassed whatsoever to let people know that you're new at this. Do not be embarrassed whatsoever to say, you know what, my partner knows more about this than I do. I would like to get them on the phone with you to set up an appointment so they can run through this and give you the best opportunity for understanding how this product comes together. How about I don't want to offend anyone? I've had agents come back to me, well, people don't want to show me their numbers. They don't want me to know about their financial thing. And I ask them this question every time, did you ask? And about half of the agents that I ask that question to say, no, I never did ask them, I just know them. Again, let's go back. Stop deciding who should hear the message and who should not. You're not walking up to them and telling them, look, you have to buy this. It's the best thing since sliced bread. If you don't buy it, you're an idiot. Now, what you're telling people is, look, I've come across something that I'm utilizing or that my friend is utilizing or this company has utilized since 2006. It has really helped our clients manage their finances, get them out of debt, and take control of their finances. Does that sound like something you would want to know more about? If you're worried about offending anybody, send them the video. I have a lot of agents that come in and say time. Time is my issue. I just don't have time to get this done. Well, I want you to think about this. I have agents that said the same thing a year ago to me that are now making $15,000 a month. So was it worth their year of time putting their training together, getting in touch with people, making phone calls, recruiting people? I think the question you really have to ask yourself is, do you have the time not to do this? I think many of you that are on the call are looking for additional income. You're looking for an additional career. You may actually be in the position that you've retired from one job and looking for another job. You may be that your current job is not giving you the type of income and resources that you need, and that's why you're looking for an additional income stream. It may be that you're a small business owner and you're just looking for a complement to your current business model. Whatever that scenario is, I'm going to reiterate, I don't think you have the time to not do this, to not take this business serious. I will promise you this, if you take the business serious, if you follow the sales track, if you follow the information that we are training you with, you will make sales. And the last one is the confidence to share this with family and friends. I know so many agents that will flat out say, I won't talk to my dad about this, won't talk to my brother, won't talk to my cousins. I don't do business with family. But as I go deeper and find out what they do for a living, I find out that family has done business with them. I want to assure you that this product will not come back and bite you if you are wide open and upfront with your family and friends. Tell them this is a program that they have to work, they have to update. It does have great success for individuals, but it's not something you're just going to turn on, walk away, and all of a sudden your debt is eliminated. With family and friends especially, utilize your first 6 lessons of sales track. Ask them what they're trying to accomplish. Ask them what would be relevant to them. Ask them what would make a difference in their life financially today. And then move it around that. If you have that uncomfortability, my goodness, what perfect people to do 3-way calls with. That way you are deferring to a professional. You're deferring to somebody that knows the product well and asking them to help you move the process forward with your families, friends, close relatives, people of that nature. At the end of the day, what is keeping most agents from achieving their potential? It is themselves. It is what they tell themselves. It is the manner in which they approach their business. Let's make 2018 the best year ever. Let's get out of those old mindsets. Let's get out of those old way of doing business. And let's embrace 2018. Let's get out of the box. Let's get out of our comfort zone. Make that name list. Make a promise to yourself that by the end of this week, you will have reached out to a certain number of people. Write it down and hold yourself accountable to it. I don't care if that's 4 people a day. I don't care if that's 20 people at the end of a week. Make the effort to have conversations about this product. Make notations of who you've talked to, what you've talked about, and go back and follow up with these people, and I will promise you that sales will start coming your way. Fear and uncertainty is the greatest killer of success that I have ever seen for individuals, that they get so wrapped up in what they cannot do versus what they can do. We so often focus on, why did this happen to me? Why is this going on? What is going to change the situation, instead of asking the question, what can I do? What more can I do to get this message to individuals? How can I be of greater assistance to the community and the public and my friends? How can I be the individual to make the difference for these individuals that I know and I care about and I love about? Fear and uncertainty will stop you in your tracks. To review the first 6 lessons of Sales Track, the first #1 lesson is starting point. With whom do I start? Make your name list. Don't decide who goes on the list. Get your top 25, then your top 50, then your top 100. Get with your leader, maybe ask them for a talk track, help you with a little bit of talk track, but it can be as simple as calling somebody up and saying, hey, Joe, this is Bob. I'm wondering if your house is paid for. Give me a call. Now, I'm just asking you, if you were an individual and you got that message from someone, would that make you curious enough to pick up the phone and give them a call? Hey, John, this is Bob. Just wanted to give you a call and just wanted to find out, is everything in your financial life exactly the way you want it? Hey, Bob, this is John. Just wanted to give you a call. Hey, I am with a company and they offer a phenomenal product, and I would love to have an opportunity to chat with you just a little bit about that product and how I feel that would be a good fit. It's changing the lives of Americans. There are so many. Don't leave these long plated messages, just short little messages to get them to call you back. And then your next talk track would be, yeah, I've started work for the company, or I've come across this product, or, you know, I'd like to get your eyes on this to see your opinion. Do you mind if I send you this video? Would you commit to taking a look at it? Your second step in your first 6 lessons of Sales Track is your 15-second commercial. This is telling people what you do without actually telling them what you do. You could say, I help people eliminate debt. That doesn't sound very intriguing. You could say to people, I teach or I educate individuals how to win at the bank's game. Are you tired of giving the bank all of that money in interest? How would you like to start putting some of that money back in your pocket? Now remember, the first 6 lessons of Sales Track is about 10 to 15 minutes of conversation. That's all it is. It doesn't matter if you do the sales track in order as I have it listed here, but during that sequence, please make sure that you hit all 6 elements of your sales track for 6 lessons. Number 3 is use qualifiers and tie-down questions. This is how we gauge our client. This is how we find out if they are a good prospect for recruiting or sales. Once again, sales track is also your recruiting track. There's just a couple little word differences there that you would place in instead of recruiting for sales and instead of sales for recruiting. You could use qualifiers like, are you looking to earn additional money? Are you looking for a complement to your current business model? Are you looking for another job? That would be recruiting. Are you looking to pay off your debt? Are you looking to put some of that interest back in your pocket from the bank? Are you looking to plan for your future in a way that you're not just servicing debt for the rest of your life? If so, if I could show you a way, that would be more towards the sales. Your personal and your borrowed story are very important in both areas, in sales and recruiting. This personal story, if you do not own the product, it's hard to come up with a personal story, but you can borrow a story. You can take a story from an analysis that you ran for a client. You could take a story from your upline, from someone that you know that has purchased the product. One of the best ways to create a borrowed story is stay in touch with your old clients. Here's something else I would mention to you. If you have run analysis for anyone that has not purchased, you should go back through your analysis and start calling those people again and introduce them to the brand new video. Maybe ask them if anything has changed in their financial situation. Constantly be working the list that you always have. It is much easier to work a list that you have in place than it is to try to create a whole new list or find all brand new people. In your personal borrowed story, make sure you've watched your videos, you've done your self-training, and if you are in debt and you are selling this product, I would strongly suggest you buy the product. One of the first questions that's going to come out of somebody's mouth when you try to sell them the product is, are you using it? The litmus test is one of my favorite pieces of this, and this is on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 is nothing, 5 is imperative. How serious are you about getting out of debt? If they come back a 4 or 5, they're pretty serious. Follow it up with a secondary question. Are you serious or are you just curious about getting out of debt? If they tell you that they're serious, say, great. Would you mind watching a couple videos and see if this is up your alley? I'm paraphrasing that, but you don't want to hesitate and explain too much. You want to strike while the iron's hot. You want to strike while people are interested. You want to make sure that you're always moving the process forward. And then step number 6 of your sales track is to set your appointment in stone, and that could be to refer to a corporate or field closer or run your own analysis. Either way, it can be done. And please, please, please remember your 3-way call of putting an expert on the line. I want to tell you that I have great feelings for 2018. The market seems to be stabilizing for housing. We're seeing that the banks are opening up their coffers a little bit more for home equity lines of credit. We're already seeing sales moving into January, coming right out of December. I am very excited for what 2018 holds for each and every one of us. So with that having been said, I want to thank everybody for joining us this evening. I want to thank Joan for always recording our presentations and posting this to YouTube. This will be up in a few days, I would imagine the next day or two. And we're going to have Joan post this and title this, What's Holding Me Up? What is holding me up? So if you look under Worth Unlimited and then type in Worth Unlimited and then type in What is Holding Me Up, you will find this presentation within the next day or two on YouTube. I am very grateful for everybody that has come forward for the mission. Joan just came on and said it will be up there tomorrow. So this video will be able to be viewed tomorrow. And with that having been said, I want to remind everybody about the 5 steps to success, or what we call 5 STS. And with that having been said, let's go to the very last slide here today, and we're going to review the 5 steps here probably next week. In summary for this evening, what I want you to do is work at your business every day and celebrate the little wins. I want you to have a game plan and have a plan to carry it out, and keep things simple and trust your training. Just follow the process that's already been laid out to you, and I think you'll find out that things will fall in place. If any of you have any questions, concerns, or comments, you can feel free to reach out to me, Stuart Mac Saunders. You can send it to mac@worthunlimited.com, or you can see my name there, Stuart Mac Saunders, with no capitals, no spaces. If you run that all together, no quote marks, just Stuart Mac Saunders @gmail.com, or you can contact me on my cell phone at 801-347-6260, or you can contact Worth Support with any questions or comments or concerns that you may have as well. I want to thank everyone for joining us for the Worth Agent Update and Training Call for Monday, January 8th. Let's get out there and do it big. Let's get out there and do it right. But at the very least, let's get out there and do something big right now. This is Max Saunders saying bye-bye for now.